Welcome in. Post-game here. After the Clippers take down the Brooklyn Nets, 115 to 106 in San Diego. Post-game coming up. Not taking phone calls tonight. It's still the preseason, but I will be here looking in the chat, responding to you guys. And, of course, Carlo Jimenez will join me as well here on the post-game show. After the Clippers are victorious for the first time this season, you could say. I know it's preseason, but we'll take it any way we can get it. Some nice performances overall. I thought Kai Jones had a really nice bounce-back performance. Granted, you have to take level of competition into account, but still, good to see the Clippers get the victory. Good to see the young guys thrive late. Now the Clippers nab their first preseason victory. They win 115 to 106 here in San Diego in Oceanside at Front Wave Arena. Welcome into your post-game show. I'm Adam Oslin. Coming up, we'll get to your post-game box score, some highlights for you, and more. But right now, we're rejoined by your radio voice of the Clippers and Carlo Jimenez. Carlo, we talked about it. The Clippers got off to a quick start. We're up by as many as 18. Found themselves down 3 at the half. But as the starters were taken out of this game, you saw the competitive spirit of the young guys who had a lot to play for. And I thought overall executed the game plan Coach Lou was looking for. A lot of driving, kick late, making things happen, getting downhill, getting to the basket. And we got to see a fun ball game down the stretch, I think, for Clipper Nation here in San Diego.
It was such a fun brand of basketball to watch. I mean, we talked about it on the broadcast, Adam, but 16 assists for those final 5 guys. The starters had a combined 6 assists. You want to talk about kicking and driving, moving the rock, getting everybody involved? I mean, 5 assists for Kobe Brown, 7 for Adonis Williams, their point guard. I thought they played the best part of the basketball game late. I'm sure Paul Hewitt is stoked, the San Diego Clippers head coach, to see how well that group performed together. And if this is their new home, I think that's a great first time to play in it.
You mentioned Kai Jones. I thought this was a big bounce-back performance from him. He just didn't look to be in rhythm in Hawaii. It was his first game in some time. There was maybe a little bit of deer in the headlights going on. The game was moving too fast. It slowed down for him while he was moving faster than the opposition, and his teammates were finding him over and over again and rewarding the hustle plays with the rebounding, the blocks, redirecting shots at the rim, and it ended up with alley-oops on the other end to Kai Jones.
Kai Jones, 6 for 8, and he had 6 dunks, Adam Oslin, 6 dunks. Highest percentage shot in basketball is a dunk. He was excellent today. 5 rebounds, that 1 block. But how many times did we see an opposing Brooklyn guard drive into the thick of the defense, and because Kai Jones is in the area, all of a sudden they don't shoot. They swing the ball, or the shot has a little more arc on it, and then it ends up being a little short. I thought his presence alone affected so many shots for this Brooklyn team. It really came up big down the stretch. Fun to see Kai Jones have such an explosive game. 22 minutes in this one. He played the most minutes of any Clipper, and I think he was the most efficient of any Clipper as well.
Love seeing young guys like that take advantage of a big opportunity. No Mo Bamba in this game once again. You knew he'd play heavy minutes, and it didn't seem – the wind is there. The oxygen tank is full. That track and field background plays well with Kai Jones out here on the NBA court. It's just getting a better feel for the game, and he was able to show off what he's capable of tonight. Really impressed with him. Some of the other guys, Kobe Brown played 20 minutes, struggled at times as many Clippers did in the turnover department, but was able to play a little bit of two-man game and also scrap for a putback bucket late in this one as the Clippers were starting to pull away a little bit.
Yeah, he directed the offense well, finished the game with 5 assists, did turn it over 3 times, but forced 4 steals. So the defense, the active hands, I think that's huge for Kobe Brown. I thought that whole group, Adam, to close the game, I mean, just excellent ball movement, excellent play. They really took it seriously and dominated Brooklyn at the end. I mean, you have to give Brooklyn some slack. That's a group that is playing it now 1 a.m. Eastern as this game really snail paced to the end, but fun to watch the Clippers' young core put together a strong 15 minutes to close the books.
You mentioned him early on, but Alondas Williams and his 10 points and really energy he provided, there was a spark from him in that third quarter, making the hustle plays, rewarding guys like Kai Jones for running the floor. And then in the fourth, he started to get some buckets as well, whether he was generating them at the basket through hustle plays, second chance opportunities, or knocking down a three.
7 assists, 3 offensive rebounds, and 6 rebounds to close the book for the 6'4" guard out of Wake Forest by way of this is someone who started his career at JUCO at Triton College. Then he goes 2 years at Oklahoma where it didn't really do a lot, averaged about 7 points both these years. All of a sudden transfers to Wake Forest, and he's the ACC Player of the Year, averages 19 points a game. Maybe a little bit of a late bloomer, but somebody who made a big impact. On the back of his triceps, Adam, he's got man tattooed on one tricep, man tattooed on the other tricep, and he played like a grown man here today.
I like man. Bam, bam. Man. I like it.
That's his teammates call him.
Clippers win 115-106. We'll talk about the starters and Terrence Mann on the other side here, but wanted to show the young guys some love as they pulled the Clippers through for this victory, where they were leading 83-76 heading into the fourth quarter, and they ended up outscoring the Brooklyn Nets 32-30 the final 12 minutes. From Oceanside, San Diego, we'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back as your Clippers post-game show as they win 115-106 in preseason game number 2 over the Brooklyn Nets. I'm Adam Oslin with Carlo Jimenez. Talk to you on the other side right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network.
What up, guys?
Good to see you guys. I can't keep up with all the comments here. Good Lord. I can keep up with Jordan Miller. Miller time is the best time. He should be a part of the rotation. Dunn is okay. We'll talk about him coming up a little bit. First game back in San Diego County. Big Vic says that. Who's this?
DJ's got
Enrico. It is really good. Rooting for Clips with or without my favorite baller, Kawhi.
New Zealand.
That's awesome. Our friend from Japan. Good win, but is DJ okay? Looking for an update on Derek Jones Jr.
Got a concussion. He
was out for the game.
Yeah.
Took a hit. We never saw, obviously, no replay, as this game was pretty much as close as you get to a radio exclusive. I know Clippers Court Vision was up, and some of you were watching it there. William Blast always starts with Peace Adam, and it throws me off because I think he's leaving, but it's actually his greeting. Programming note, guys, when we finish here on the radio side, we're currently on the Patriot AM 1150 and on the YouTube, obviously. But Carlo has agreed to take the keys because I'm drunk with happiness with this Clippers victory, and he's going to drive home. So that means I can jump on and do some Clippers talk after dark with Carlo as we drive up north back to LA from San Diego. So there will probably be about a 20-minute break in between starting up a new episode, a new live stream on here. Maybe I could just keep it in the exact same spot. I think that might actually work. So anyways, if you guys want that extended post game with some Clippers talk as we're driving back to LA, I'll see if I can hook up to my phone with the hotspot and make it happen for you. Ex-Mongio Project said 82-0 season, here we come. I wish we could get a post-game box score. Clippers are victorious back in San Diego like it's 1978. They win here at Front Wave Arena, the new G League facility for the San Diego Clippers. Your Los Angeles Clippers win 115-106 over the Brooklyn Nets in preseason game number 2. Welcome back into your post-game show. I'm Adam Oslin. Coming up, we'll get to some highlights, but we'll have more with Carlo Jimenez here. As the Clippers starters, I felt like obviously got them off to a quick start in this ball game, leading in that first quarter by as many as 18. They were up 35-18 on the Brooklyn Nets. It was an all systems go first opening 12 minutes as the Clippers were 6 of 10 from beyond the arc. Everything was dropping for them. It was also good to see, and maybe we'll have an update on him a little bit later tonight. Derek Jones Jr. knocked down the only three-pointer he took. Unfortunately, he left this game and was out with a concussion, took a blow to the head, and it was a little bit of a scary situation. Was able to walk out and into the locker room under his own power, Carlo. We'll keep them abreast of the situation, but obviously the Clippers were hot to start in the first quarter, and the starters that were out there, I think a starting group that could be a possibility for opening night should Kawhi Leonard not be available, or just throughout the season if Kawhi Leonard's not available for a ball game. But Derek Jones Jr. next to Big Zoo, James Harden, Terrence Mann, and Norman Powell, that group overall played well initially in that first quarter, especially.
Yeah, 100% agreed. I thought they got Ivica Zubac the ball a lot. He was able to be effective. Did have 4 fouls in just his 17 minutes, but never really, I think, made Ty Lue take him out. I thought the 2 blocks were great. It's a tough one to gauge with that group, Adam, because one of the issues about it is how big you can play. There's a lot of guards in that group, right? And then you look at this Brooklyn team, and 3 of their big men are out. So how much can we judge how effective this group can be on a regular NBA team night in and night out is tough to judge. But I think with the information we have, they played an excellent game in this one.
Yeah, James Harden, surprisingly, as things started to turn back in the favor of the Brooklyn Nets, was turning the ball over. There was some sloppy, I would say, unserious basketball out there for a little bit in the first half, where there was one turnover where James Harden was arguing with the official, didn't get back. Dennis Schroeder got an easy layup. The Clippers got into it with the officials for a bit, and they ended up giving up that 18-point lead. They were down by 3 heading into the third quarter. But again, early on, there was some efficient offense. There was some three-pointers that were falling, and we were looking for better execution offensively overall after what we saw in Hawaii.
Yeah, and for the most part, Adam, that better offensive execution was there. The Clippers moved the basketball better. They got more people involved. I think they had 6 or 7 guys scoring double figures today when nobody's playing more than 22 minutes. It's uber impressive by this Clipper team. So fun to watch them perform at that level on the offensive end and also be successful on the defensive end. Brooklyn did not get many free shots. I think the Clippers did a great job of getting back in transition and even better job of pushing the ball in transition. The Clippers really got out and running, beat the Brooklyn defense down. And for a preseason game number 2, all you want to see is an improvement. And I think this is definitely an improvement from Golden State. Now, can you keep improving when you take on Portland, who will also be their first preseason game on Friday?
You mentioned pushing it in transition and setting a tone early on. I feel like Terrence Mann was that and then some for this Clippers team, getting the start. And you never know, just because he started 71 games last season, I think he's in the driver's seat. I think he's the favorite to be in the starting lineup and start off this season. But this Clippers team is deep and guys are competing for jobs. And Terrence Mann certainly made his case tonight.
Yeah, I think not starting on Friday was a surprise to Terrence Mann. And he wanted to prove that that was a mistake by Ty Lue, and proved he did. I mean, aggressive to the rim, had a great pass to Ivica Zubac, a couple offensive rebounds. He was all over the place to start this game, everywhere and then some. And then he played controlled and within himself. Terrence Mann, the key is going to be, can he shoot the ball from distance consistently? Today was 4 for 4 from the field, 1 for 1 from the three-point line, and finished with 3 rebounds. That's another big asterisk for him. How do you rebound the basketball for the Clippers at his size? Because if you're going to put Terrence Mann in for Chris Dunn, you need to win some of those boards back that maybe you wouldn't get when Chris Dunn and his size are on the floor. Feel like that's kind of the give and take that Ty Lue is balancing right now for this Clipper team. Excited to see how they continue to evolve. You still have 3 more preseason games. The Clippers are stacked this preseason with games, and so plenty of opportunities to figure out what combinations are best.
Hey, we're not complaining about that. The Clippers did end up out-rebounding Brooklyn 44-36. A little bit of progress there, even though the turnovers still came in bunches. They finished at 19 by my box score. So some things that were an improvement, some things that still just need a little bit more attention.
Yeah, and it's just going to take time. I mean, these guys have to adjust to the speed. They adjust to the pace of play. They adjust to playing against someone new that they haven't seen every year or every day in practice. So excited to see them continue to adjust, continue to find new ways to be effective, and just continue to play a more consistent brand of basketball. Second straight game, you're nearing 20 turnovers. Obviously, you'd like to see that cleaned up against a Seattle team that is very much, or sorry, not Seattle, or playing in Seattle, playing Portland. Very much similar to this Brooklyn group that's in a little bit of a rebuild. And then you got Dallas down the stretch, who is not in a rebuild. So two very different teams coming up for the Clippers these next two games. Excited to see how they approach those games and how they approach a Portland team that is playing their first preseason game. I wouldn't be surprised if the Clippers get off to the same hot start offensively, just because Portland has yet to see anybody else but their teammates.
Hey, I'm hoping to see some Supersonic legends Friday night in Seattle. We'll talk about that game coming up next. Clippers win tonight here in San Diego, 115 to 106 over the Brooklyn Nets. They're 1-1 so far in the preseason. I'm Adam Moslin. More Clippers talk on the other side here in your post-game show on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. You want to just finish it out since you're here, and we're not going to.
I can't leave till you leave. So,
and since I just said that on a live broadcast with people in the chat, got to get used to this, guys. But happy to do it. Love the conversation here. Yeah, maybe we'll bring that up about Jordan Miller. Those two things stand out to me as well. Jay says it. Offensive dynamo. Yes, ma'am. It's all right. Well, you know what? Carlo did work. Let's go.
We don't have to play them.
Let's go.
I know, hour and a half drive.
We can. Well, I'll do
Jake,
this.
you do this.
I'll
all
do
the
this.
time? Can't believe you do this all the time.
Do you want to play Kai Jones highlight
what
coming
I'm
in,
good at,
Katie?
bro.
Do you got the skills?
So I'm stuck doing
Just
it.
play Kai Jones dunk coming in. Or whatever mix you have. That works.
Believe it or not, this is fun to me. It's a lot of work, though. Because I got to get here early. I stay late. I'm not looking forward to Inglewood for that reason. But it's the job.
No. Just like on top of like the music bumper, you know.
Big Bro's got a commentator.
Do I?
Somebody says Big Brother Jake.
Ray.
Ray.
What's up, Ray Ray?
JNT.
Big Bro.
Big bro in the
Hey, yo.
house.
Bro.
What's
Keeping
up?
us on the air and sounding way better than, at least way better than I should. Kai Jones with the throwdowns. Katie Newton with the highlight package there as he finished with 13 points in 22 minutes plus 5 boards. And the Clippers finish off the Brooklyn Nets. It got late early for them in that fourth quarter. Clippers win 115 to 106 here in Oceanside, San Diego from Front Wave Arena. Welcome back into your post-game show. Final segment here. But maybe in about 20 minutes, you can catch some Clippers talk after dark right back here in the YouTube live spot. While Carlo is driving, and I'll be talking to you. Carlo will jump in too, as long as we're keeping it safe there on the roads. But Carlo, I thought Kai Jones, to me, you could tell from the outset something was different because the screens he set tonight, some of those were bone crushing compared to the ones he was setting in Honolulu. He was physical.
He studied up at the James Harden School of Pick and Rolls. There's no doubt about it. I mean, he's somebody who got in a little bit of an education, is can continue to grow. Really reminds me, Adam, as we were talking about it in the break, of like a JaVale McGee type threat. Somebody you can throw the lob to, who can set hard screens, who can roll hard to the paint, who could be a rim protector. And if he plays that role, he forces you to play a completely different style of defense because you always have to have somebody watching to help defense. And we know with the way James Harden passes the basketball, if you're not open, sometimes he'll pass you open, right? You know, good quarterbacks throw their receivers open. That's the kind of passing that James Harden does when he has the basketball. Kai Jones is only going to get better. Let's remember that this is not This is someone who did not play organized basketball for an entire year. An entire year. This is his second game in the last 700 plus days. I'm not surprised at his improvement. I won't be surprised as it continues to go. And I think there is a role for him and a two-way contract with his name on it if he can continue to be excellent as a lob threat, as a rim protector, and as a screener.
I was tough on him after the last game. People were tough on him. It didn't look like he, had that feel for the game out there. It just looked like a freakish athlete, but is he a basketball player as well? The amount of improvement I saw from game 1 to game 2 was remarkable, and I'm really proud of Kai Jones. It looks like he is taking to coaching very well with the screens he was setting and then being rewarded on the other end. We talk about the Clippers having more vertical threats now. He's one of them, along with Derek Jones Jr. Looking for an update. Left the game in this one with a concussion. Also in the second half. Do we have it, Carlo?
We have it. Ty Lue says he is okay. He just has a concussion. I'd also like to mention, we talk about lob threats. We've yet to see Mo Bamba. Another lob threat for this Clipper team. Something, Adam, they didn't really have a lot of. Ivica Zubac can get up, but he's already head at the rim. Talk about Mo Bamba, Derek Jones Jr., and Kai Jones. That increases your verticality immensely on the offensive end and opens up a whole nother dimension.
With one of the greatest lob passers in NBA history in James Harden.
Not a bad combo.
You don't even know sometimes. Is it a lob? Is it his floater? The defense has to pick and choose. Last thing before we get out, people have been bringing him up. Jordan Miller, my player to watch in this one. I'm not bringing him up because of that. I'm bringing him up because he should have been the Summer League MVP, and he won round 2 in this one against Jalen Wilson, in my opinion. He finished with 7 points. Jordan Miller, 13 points in 16 minutes, 4 of 6 from the floor, and that no-dip 3, as you mentioned. A little shout-out, Nicholas Batum.
No dip, none needed. Jordan Miller from the corner. Team high, plus 14, tells you all you need to know, Adam. When he was on the floor, the Clippers were playing their best basketball. 4 for 4 from the free throw line. He did a little bit of everything. Dipped his hand in offensive rebounds, a couple steals, a couple assists. Really moved the rock well. He looks very comfortable. I mean, it's something he admitted to during the press conferences, saying, this year, everything is a lot slower for me. And it really does look that way for Jordan Miller. He seems more comfortable. He's not rushing with the basketball. And when you dominate Summer League, when you dominate the G League, why don't you have all the confidence in the world? And that's what it looked like today. Jordan Miller really with all that confidence, able to be a huge factor for this Clippers team. I love the way this one played out. It just feels like we got a great ending, a great taste in our mouth to close things because of how that Final Five played. Fun basketball to watch and effective basketball.
Plus, pretty good tacos here in San Diego. Ooh. I still got that taste in my mouth.
4.7 stars.
Asada was on point here. And so is the level of basketball and the production in this arena and how beautiful it is. It should be celebrated. It will be celebrated. The Clippers G League team, the San Diego Clippers now, are opening up this beautiful new arena, Front Wave Arena, here in Oceanside, San Diego. And I want to encourage everyone to come out here and watch a ball game. You will be rewarded with some of these guys that you saw tonight, like Jordan Miller. He was 8th in G League scoring. Last year was dominating. We'll see some of him. He's on a 2-way contract. I think Kai Jones will be in the G League some as well this season. So a taste of things to come here in San Diego in a really cool environment, Carlo.
Yeah, and the first game, Adam, is a month away. November 8th, the Rip City Remix come to town to take on your San Diego Clippers. And that is not going to be a game you want to miss. A fun venue, a great venue, a great broadcast setup, no complaints from our end. And this is a great place. This is the premier place to watch G League basketball. If you are anywhere near and you do not come out the Front Wave this season, that is a mistake. It's going to be a great spot to watch the stars of the future in the NBA play today.
Anywhere Steve Ballmer puts his fingers on it, he's got the Midas touch.
Yes,
it just turns out to be a great event, very entertaining. The ball game got close late as well. It was a fun time seeing the Clippers young players here thriving as they will be all season with the San Diego Clippers. Some of these young guys. The Los Angeles Clippers win 115-106 over the Brooklyn Nets here in Oceanside. Clippers next ball game, as Carlo mentioned last segment, in Seattle. I don't know. Is it Key Arena still? I'm not sure what the arena name is called.
Climate
You got it?
Pledge Arena, baby.
Something new, but hashtag Sonics Gate forever. Believe that. I have not forgotten what went down there. I am a big supporter of the Seattle Supersonics, so it's going to be a fun time. Tip-off against the Portland Trailblazers there, appropriately so, is at 7:30. We'll have your pregame show right back here at 6:30. If the Dodgers are playing, that means we're on the Patriot AM 1150. If not, we'll be on AM 570 LA Sports. Before we get out of here, I do want to thank the Clippers organization. Noah Eagle, Ralph Lawler, Brian Seaman, Carlo Jimenez on the call. The head engineer, big brother Jake Warner in the house, making it happen. Katie Newton, our producer, back in the bank. I usually say the callers and listeners here. The chatters, the listeners here on the YouTube side.
I like that.
And programming note, in just about 20 minutes from now, we'll be back with some Clippers talk after dark as we drive back up to Los Angeles. For everybody else, we'll talk to you Friday night.
Thanks, Katie.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Katie.
Appreciate you, Katie.